Alright, so let's test this. The Coteries. Alright, so far it's looking good. Alright. Hello! Oh, got it. I need my text big because I can't read. What's up, baby Doomfist? Typing speed? Whatever with that. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I think that's good enough. Got yourself some Disney Plus, huh, baby Doomfist? Alright, confirm to pause the game to go back your log. Dictionary. I guess J for journal, but normally I would use D for dictionary, but that's okay. But your log is almost kind of like your journal in a sense. Alright, whatever. We'll just have to get used to it. Yeah, Yoshitsumi! Raven. It's good, man. I'm taking a little break, obviously, from the other game. I want to play this a little bit, and then... How is it sounding, by the way? Am I too quiet for it, or is the audio sound good for this? So I get a few options here. Not many, but... The Bruja, the Rebel Rebel, the Rebel against power and rage against authority. Seemingly insignificant man with significant ideas will join their ranks tonight. Ooh, the Ventru, they're all about the money and power. The aristocratic blue bloods embody wealth, sovereignty, and control. Top-level corporate executives. Or Toreador. The divas seek thrills of art, romance, and cruelty amidst stagnant undead. So in other words, I can seduce people as a Toreador, I can kind of buy my way out of things, or I can punch the hell out of people with this character. Think I should turn the mic up? Okay. Go over here then, I'll give myself a little game here. Alright. Because I don't want to go too loud, because I start popping and shit, you know? Like, if I get, ha 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 ha! You know what I mean? Then it starts to, like, maybe I should turn the game down music? By the way, which guy, who do y'all think I should be? The Bruja, the top guy? The guy that's kind of the brawler? He's got, like, supersonic speed. He can, like, lift cars. He's very strong. They kind of, inspire people in a sense. They got lots of money and power. Or these are the ones that straight up can just seduce you and kind of make you do whatever. You're very charming. They also have supersonic speed as well, which is actually pretty nice by having a Toreador. And they're really good with guns too. At least previous versions they have been. Yoshi's vote is for the brawler. Let's see what everybody else says real quick. But that Bruja's like my favorite, so the brawler, that's kind of my jam. I'll be right back. Sorry, my leg hurts really bad real quick. And then let's get started. Okay, dude. The boy Nidge is back. We're about to do this. And by the way, for those who don't know, if you guys didn't catch it on my gaming channel, Mega Nidge, I actually went through the whole first game of this called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. There's other games too, but I'm actually going to download all that content and put it on my main channel. I gave that gaming channel to my brother, so you'll probably notice if you're subscribed to Mega Nidge. If not, go ahead and do so. But sooner or later, it's going to turn into his name, so just red alert. Hey, Bunny! So we got Brawler. Alright, Brawler it is. Choose your name. Eric? I guess I can be Eric. Or I can be Dirty Nidge. Yeah. I'll be Nidge. Let's do this, man. So, by the way, this game might not be for a lot of people's liking. First thing, I'm also going to put my face somewhere different for the camera here. I'm not exactly sure where I would fit. Maybe up here. I'll try right here for now, and if I have to switch it, I'll switch it. You know what I'm saying? New York taught me to believe in fate. Had you asked me about fate back when I was superstitious bullshit, human, I would have told you it's just superstitious bullshit. That we are all designers of our own destinies. That belief shattered when the richest woman in the United States, the actual richest one, not a face you could have seen in the papers, of course, sank her teeth deep into my neck. It happened in the very same place you're standing. By the way, fate, you decide. The ellipses. Please, absolutely no need to be hostile. Just listen for a little longer. You see, my mistake was I flew too close to the sun. It makes sense that my punishment was to never see its glow again. I was incandescent myself. Damn, this thing reads so fast. And I wanted it all. Money, looks, confidence, connection, men, women. Wow, a career and a spark in the eye. The one you need to be born with. And that's when far more powerful than me saw my radiance and thought, that won't do. She robbed me of the light erupting from within me and gave me a subtle, enduring gleam in its place. She decided it would fit me much better. She was 9th gen kindred, just like you, apex predator. She probably enjoyed showing me a peak of human excellence, my real place in the food chain. It's such an eyesore when you look at some loudmouth braggart and see them for all they really are. The temptation to teach them a lesson can be unbearable. Right? Well, my sire's lesson was a lesson about fate. A message saying, you're eternally doomed to being at the mercy of your sovereigns. It almost drove me to destroy myself. What saved me was the ability to reinterpret her teachings. Hers wasn't a message of doom. It was a message of hope. Fate exists, and one can shape it, if given the right tools. My sire didn't believe my tools were fitting for the job. She considered them toys, and me? Just an amusing subject of hers. Well, she's deader than dead now, and I'm still here, standing right where she stood when we first met. He staked the bitch! That's what he did! The middle top? Yeah, maybe that. That's right. Like I look down like, I just don't know how the screen cameras are going to change in the angles. And my battery went dead on my my light in the background. And it doesn't look too bad, right? Like I'm not too dark. I'm alright. I could jack up the light more if you guys wanted to, but you might have wondered how I've learned about your arrival at the JFK airport. My answer, of course, destiny. As luck would have it, today happened to be a day some of my associates were inspecting coffins. Driving you here straight from the plane and waking you up in such a familiar place is a little desperate. I do apologize. But it's so rare for you to visit NY. 3 times in the last 15 years, eh? And you're never eager to inform me that you're here. I understand you still have that meeting on 53rd Street later tonight. I'll provide a comfortable transport. I value our relationship very much. Don't get that wrong. But it is precisely because I value it that I am going to ask you to repay me. You repay the favor you owe me. You're the only one I'd trust to do the job well, and without attracting attention. That's right. Well, I kind of go in swinging. You might think I'm crazy asking you to breach the rules of our society like this. He wants me to break the Masquerade, doesn't he? You might think you won't get away with it. This is New York. And I don't know about other cities, but in this one, fate does exist. And right now, smiling in your favor. And this is how it begins. Goddamn, that's creepy as hell right there. Music is pounding, and your pulse is keeping pace. This is one of those nights that makes you feel alive, even though it started with you feeling dead. First came the messy breakup, then the realization you have nobody to talk to about how much that sucked. Still, you decided to roll with the punches. One Facebook search for local events later, and you found just the thing you remember for your molasses. A short subway ride, and you find yourself at the club, a Dumbo. Not a fancy one, more like a slightly refurbished warehouse, but hey, drinks are cheap. Oh yeah, your boy Nidge getting hood out. The DJ seems to be doing some shit and spinning some techno and classic Detroit cloud pleasers, expertly feeling out everyone's mood. Hour passes, going on 2. Usually you feel awkward coming to a place like this. Tonight, you find something soothing and joining the crowd. You're just blending in, even as you allow the beat to just take over. Sweat, yours, others, soaks through your shirt and pants in a matter of minutes. Thoughts pop in your head from the outside. The fully packed club must seem like a stuffy and smelly nightmare. But in here, in the thick of it, it becomes exhilarating. You're not even on the pill tonight. I'm not on a pill, huh? Well, it's a good thing I can't get pregnant. No, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm not doing any drugs. There's this Latina chick whose curves are, yes, accentuated by the light dress clinging to her body. And she bumps into you. Something tells you it's dangling time. Oh, that's only incidental. Damn. Yeah, it's a good night. You wish it could be a better night. But, however, because you know all too well what the next day holds. Hangover. Wake up, get dressed from work, the commute, 9 to 5, get enough money to pay rent, keep living in your overpriced shithole apartment. With Jessica moving out, it'll be coming out of your pocket. You run some quick calculations in your head. You come to the regret that you did. Never mind. You see the Latina again. She is now next to another guy hitting it off. Your chance of not going to bed alone. Gone. Just like that. Meh! He stole the booty. That's right, Augusto's got it right. He's like, cha-cha-cha. Your mood temporarily shot down. Oh, don't hate, masturbate. Look at the dance floor and stumble your way to the bathroom. Take a look in the mirror and start to wash your face. Okay, I didn't mean do that in the bathroom. Please don't do that. Over and over again, you stare yourself in the mirror. Oh, a voice from the past echoes in your mind. I've never felt like this with anyone. Seriously, I mean it. I feel like all my relationships at this point are just test runs. A shitty way to compensate for my low self-esteem. Jessica, isn't that my ex? But this feels right. Finally. Shut up, Jess. Ouch. This is the craziest effing day of my life. God, I need a smoke. Pass me a light. What do you mean? Cops took the lighter? There's one in your mouth. Not me. Shut up. This is not you. Not anymore. Fuck off. This is so you. Acting like some sort of Clint Eastwood wannabe when I really, really need you to open up. You think you're impressing people with this tough guy act? Fuck you! I know how broken you are. You need therapy. Damn. Yeah, now that sounds like Jessica today. You raise your head and look in the mirror. You try to smile, but all you can muster is a self-pitying grin. There she is. The Latina comes back for more! Yes! Oh yeah. 13 age game or not? No. Game's definitely for 13 and up. She says you look like you need a drink. Why does it say it's for kids? I didn't mark that, did I? She says you look like you need a drink. You hesitate for a second and then blur out surprisingly through the yeah. You start to talk. It becomes evident that she's into politics. Oh, and you were eager to please. You might be a corporate drone, but you spend a lot of evenings reading theory. Actual theory. Not bastardized Twitter clip notes and organizing for all manners of causes online. The status quo sucks. There must be something better. She agrees. You seem to subscribe to the same progressive political theories, have compatible ideas about the DSA's missteps. You even watch the same YouTube channels. Your goals are aligned. Oh yeah, giggity goo. Baby, you like SML? You like Rocka Rocka? Brandon Rogers? Alright. She's a bit more radical than you'd have guessed. Oh my. You attended a few rallies, been to a few protests, but this girl sounds like she broke her share of faces and kicked more than a couple of cops in the nuggets over the course of her activist career. Oh, I think she's like Antifa or something. Ooh, I don't know about you, man. Her zeal is infectious. She taps into pent-up anger that you didn't know you had. The noisy club stops working for you both, so you all just hit the streets. Just as you're leaving, a G-Search just playing all the things she said by tattoo. Of course, you chuckle to yourself, trying not to slip into a bad headspace. She ends up laughing along. It's chilly out. Soon enough, you find yourself too invested in listening to her voice to care about anything else. You realize you've been holding hands for a while. The subway car is empty, save for a stoic at his own feet. Plenty of room to stretch out, and yet she sits right next to you. Damn right. Like, baby, plenty of space here for you. You feel her thigh pressing into yours. Her breath on the side of your neck. Uh-oh. Maybe it's the booze talking, but you distinctly hear your voice asking if she'd like to crash at your place. I've got a better idea, she says. Uh-oh. At this point, you're down for anything as long as it lets you spend just a few more minutes with her. She wants you to crash your place into her place. Badoons. She wants you to park your... Never mind. She takes you to a sleazy motel in the Bronx. Who's that guy walking in the background? Tired-looking guy at the front desk. He hands her a key. Still holding your hand, she leads you up the steps. Uh-oh. His dangling time. Yeah.
Somebody's gonna get raked.
Sticky floor. Ew, not that it matters, though. The moment you step at the door, she's on top of you. You try to take the lead, but she's having none of it. Before you know it, you feel the rickety bed pressing against your back. It's sloppy, fun, fierce. Not once does she lose initiative. Your hands reach under her shirt. Strange. It didn't look like she was cold outside, but now her skin is insanely freezing. As if sensing your confusion, she slaps your hands off of her. Oh no. She kisses your neck. You're overwhelmed by the sensation. Darkness! The taste of liquid fire and smoke on your tongue. Her voice saying, sorry, kid. I did what I had to do to leave the city in one piece. But don't worry. With my blood and your principles, you're gonna do just fine. She slams the motel room door behind her as she leaves. No. You lie helplessly on the soiled, pungent mattress for some time, minutes, hours, before you can focus enough to try to piece together your evening. It hits you. The hunger. It grips you by the throat. It makes your inside shrivel. It's all-encompassing emptiness that throws you on all fours. You crawl for a while, squirming on the floor in sundering pain. Then jump to your feet, bust out the door, and you end up blacking out. Meh. This isn't the room you saw when you last closed your eyes. Somebody curses at you. A small, naked, buff dude holding a short leather whip. Ew!
Somebody's gonna get raked.
Wow. Goofy motherfucker. He throws a punch. He yells out several slurs. Racist! He hits you in the jaw. I black out again. Oh no, man! Nasty mother. He's like...
Surprise, motherfucker.
The guy isn't moving anymore. There's blood on his neck. Yes, I killed him, I think. There's blood on his arms. There's even blood on the floor. There's blood everywhere. Wow, whoever did that is one sick puppy. You realize you're sitting on top of this corpse. Looks like I done did oopsies. Congratulations, Yoshi, on that 86 subs, man. And you, Wallace, as well. You hear a whimper. Someone else is there. It's a whammon. Her arms are tied to the bed frame, an eye mask over her face, red marks on her neck. Ew. This time you see it happen, you want to stop but can't. She almost manages to get a scream out, but it dies in her throat as you bite into the side of her neck. Damn, I'm just draining everybody now. Blood. Blood. Yes. Yes. You can swear you feel her life force escaping. Suddenly terrified, you tear away from her. She's not moving. Not breathing, but she is still breathing. There is barely a mark on her neck. And the guy on the floor, though, however, not so much. Double over in spasm, realizing what you did. You feel like throwing up. You gag a little. Panic is starting to set in, realizing that you and your heart is not beating. You put 2 fingers to your wrist. You check, and there's no pulse. As far as your neck, same noise. There's no breath coming out of your mouth. I got an achievement already, really? That's kind of wonky. I just want to make sure you guys get the full screen here. Okay. You have to get out. Get someone to call an ambulance, for yourself at least. Probably too late for the dude on the floor. Did I really kill him? Tisk, tisk. What a mess. You look up. The door to the room is ajar. A tall, handsome, broad-shouldered man fills the entire frame. He brushes his imaginary speck of dirt off his perfectly tailed spoon. Somebody call 911. Out of the way. This is not what it looks like. I see. So this is like a game where I have to pick options. By the way, is the sound too loud, like the game music, or is it good? I think I'm gonna have to... Let's see, call 911, that'd be kind of stupid. Out of the way, this is not what it looks like. Could lie to him. What's up, Mohammed? Hey, man, this isn't what it looks like. That's good to hear, because from what I'm standing, it looks like you're in a world of shit. He surveys the room, not moving an inch from where he's standing. Shakes his head. Murder, assault, you know that's 25 to life, if you're lucky. But since you're not, probably the death penalty. He takes a glance at his expensive-looking watch. Lucky for you, it's been a slow night, otherwise I might not have gotten here in time. Come on, the sun is coming up in a few hours. You don't want to be around when that happens. The sun, I need a doctor. Fuck you, I'm not going anywhere. Alright, the sun, I'm gonna act stupid, like as if I don't know I'm a vampire. What's it matter when the sun comes up? Ah, you don't even know. You should be glad I got here then. Man approaches you and starts talking. His tone now naturally calm. Oddly enough, you find it both soothing. Now listen, I know this is all new to you, but I dealt with hundreds of strays like you. And going by experience, they tend to fall into two categories. First, there are the smart ones who carefully obey my every word and don't try to pull anything stupid. I always get them where they need to be, safe and sound. And then there are the dumbass ones. You know, the punks who thought they could just take me on, the wise guys who tried to start shit with me secretly without permission, troublemakers who run off, make a scene. None of them got to their destination in one piece. In fact, most of them never reached their destination at all. His voice becomes slightly bored and monotone. You can tell he's given this speech before. So you see, while I generally consider myself smart, I'm also a Mets fan. And I know the true weakness. One that inspired me to come up with a 3-strike system when dealing with pups like you. Can we choose what you say? In theory, if you guys can respond fast enough, but it's kind of delayed, you know what I mean? If you get on my nerves once or twice, well, I get it. Not all of us perform that well in stressful situations. 3 times and you're out. No excuse, no mercy. As he's talking, he slowly approaches you, adding a bit of theoretical swagger to his walk. Eventually, he leans in, deliberately invading your personal space. You realize it's a test. He's daring you to do something about it. 3 strikes, and you're out. Say, I understand, sir, now. You've never been too eager to bend the knee to anyone, but this is something else. The man's very presence instills primal fear. Fuck you, sir. I understand, sir. Glad we have an understanding. Moving on, is there anyone you'd want to inform of your current situation? You know, like to tell them you're alright? Flashes his fangs briefly, and for some reason the sight sends chills down your spine. There is something very wrong about this man. Someone closest to you. I want to turn the audio down a little bit, I'm sorry everybody. I hope it doesn't bother you too much, but like blaring in my ears. My ex, my girlfriend, lie out your ass. My ex-girlfriend, Jessica, my ex. She kind of hates me, but yeah, I suppose it would be her. Stranger gives you a puzzled look and decides to produce further. Closest person in your life fucking hates you, huh? This time, something resembling a look of pity. He turns his eye to the corpse on the floor. When it rains, it pours, huh? Well, if you'd like to ruin her day and let her know you're alright, give me her phone number. I'll have someone take care of it. Discreetly, of course. Yes! You can whack the bitch. You hand him your smartphone so he can copy the number. Thank you. This will be useful in illustrating my next point. Damn, is he gonna blackmail me now? Was that a smart thing? Instead of giving you back your phone, the man hides it in his pocket. From this point on, you are subject to different laws than the ones you grew up under. You will be watched by many eyes to ensure these laws are respected. You are forbidden from letting anyone know you're still alive. You are forbidden to showing your face anywhere they know of you. If anyone comes looking for you, it's over for both you and them. He interrupts his monotone recitation and stares deep into your eyes. So unless you want your girlfriend to end up at the bottom of the ocean, I suggest you cooperate. He probably displays his fangs again. You've put Jess in danger. God damn it. I can only hope that you care for her enough not to do anything selfish. His words are meant to imply otherwise, but by now it's obvious. He hates your guts as much as you hate his. He's itching for a fight, and you're almost willing to oblige. Alright, I think that's enough lecturing. We're on a bit of a schedule here. Now, I don't even need to hurt you, but I can do so in the blink of an eye. Just so we're clear, I have the authority to end you right here, right now. This is not an idle threat. So are you going to play along, or do we have to do it the hard way? Punch the stranger, follow the stranger, I'll call for help. I was just gonna go with him. You weigh your chances, but doesn't look promising. The guy's fit, determined, looks like he means business. You and the other are confused, exhausted, and on the verge of a panic attack. Yeah, that's fine. I'll go with you, man. He almost looks disappointed. A wise decision. Follow me, please, and close the door behind you. You take one final look at the woman who's just coming to at the body of the ground. This is fucked. Absolutely. You pull the handle and close the door. The man leads you downstairs. You contemplate signaling the bald guy at the front desk, but he's too busy watching some 90s action flick on a small, ancient-looking boob tube. He seems totally oblivious to your presence. You hear a dejected Jean-Claude Van Damme say, I just want to go home, as you're walking by. Your would-be kidnapper stops by the door and addresses you before opening it. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking as soon as he opens the door, I'm making a run for it. Maybe I can even outrun him. I'll save you the trouble. I know you can. You either get inside my car, and I'll get you to where you need to be, or you could trade something stupid that you'll regret later. Did I make myself clear? Thursday. Why don't you turn me in? Why don't you just turn me in? Because no one would benefit from that, and besides, I have my orders. He opens the door and gestures to a black Cadillac Escalade. After you. Make a run for it! Get inside the car! I can run! I can run! I ain't gonna make it. Following the stranger's instructions, you make your way to the car and get in the passenger seat. The door locks behind you. Right? Inside the Cadillac is dark. The side windows seem light-proof. The man gets in the driver's seat, starts the engine, and drives, not saying a word. Did I die? This is the afterlife, isn't it? You're not entirely wrong, but it's not what you think. He weighs his next words carefully. You'll have to forgive me. I'm not in the mood to wax poetic, but the state of the situation is the role in tonight's events. Just remember, if you want to survive the next 24 hours, you'll have to play along. Okay, I need to typing speed needs to go slower. I don't want to save and exit, is that right? You can't do this. This is some shady bullshit. This is a nightmare. I'm gonna say this is a nightmare. I'm trying to be nice to this guy, right? Because this guy could rip my head off. I'm assuming the dude's obviously a pimp. He's trying to protect the Masquerade. I got a dictionary. What's this all about? Oh, I see. I can actually, like, literally go back and read everything. Okay, so that's what the log is. That makes sense. I'm going with a nightmare. This is all a nightmare. Stranger even smirks. That's cool, Bunny. Understand that this is for your own good. Times being what they are, you should consider yourself lucky. You drive in silence for 20 more minutes. Exhaustion catches up. Streetlights are starting to turn into a blur. Eventually, the car stops and the doors open. You emerge from your dreamlike state and find yourself in some kind of underground parking garage. You two are the only ones. The man points to a nearby door. Go in. Make yourself comfortable. If you get hungry again, take a look in the fridge. I'll pick you up tomorrow, and you'll have answers. Behind the door is a small room, no windows, just a simple bed and a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling. Damn, it's almost like a prison or a jail cell. A small fridge humming away in the corner, accompanied by a freaking rattling AC fan. I'm not going. This is fucked up. This is all kinds of fucked up. Trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. Just know one thing. Yeah, Wallace. It's definitely there's a lot going on, you know what I'm saying? Like I wanna hear all sides, you know? Kinda like I mentioned in my video, you know, until then it's as oof. If they pulled off like a huge prank, man. It's oof, crazy. This is spooky or spoopy. I'm sorry. Trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. Remember when I said you were lucky? I mean it. See, my job is to get rid of problems, but I'm not always this polite. This time I was told to mind my manners. So believe me when I tell you, considering how this night could have turned out, being stuck in here for a night is actually a really good deal. Get in, or I'll throw you in. I go inside. Good night. Closes the door. It looks sturdy, but as he's locking it, you notice claw marks all over. It looks like some previous guests weren't satisfied with their stay. I'm probably dead now. You decide not to dwell on it and check the fridge. There's a single plastic bag there filled with red liquid, no label. Tomato soup? You feel sick to your stomach. No. I lay down. Simple mattress, metal frame. You can't help but think it looks exactly like the one back at the hotel with the bound woman. Oh, right. I also killed some man tonight. Or did you? Maybe none of this is real. Maybe it's just, you know, some stupid prank. It's a prank, bro. The girl at the club, you know, just might have put her up to it. Tall guy, clearly is in on it too. Now he's back with him, and they're all laughing their asses off. Probably boinking my ex. You don't know what to think, though, anymore, though. Your mind is going nuts, but you're too tired to keep it. You tense up one last time. You fall asleep. You wake up. What? That in itself is a surprise. You barely remember when you drifted off. It didn't feel like sleep. It felt like plummeting into a void. You imagine that's how death feels like. The room is unchanged. Lamp is still on. AC still rattling. Refrigerator still humming. You look at your watch. It's almost 9 p.m. You've literally slept for 17 hours. Maybe you died. Your breath is gone. You feel no thumping in your chest. Does that qualify as dead? If you're still conscious? You're not sure about that. But you are certain about one thing. You are hungry. It's not your stomach rumbling, though. It's just a prank, bro. Yoshi said I've played this entire game before. Please don't spoil it, Yoshi. I know you wouldn't do that to me, but just saying, don't be like, yeah. Unfortunately for you to pick decisions and say things, you might not, yeah, you're not gonna be included to it. Sorry. So need to start somewhere in the abdomen, spread to your chest, throat, and back of your head. You open the fridge. The bag is still there. You look at it. If it is soup, man, that shit's way off. You pull the cork out. You sniff it. Yes, you recognize the smell. Holy shiza. No mistaking it. Blood. It's faint, and you remember some situations in the past. You find it nauseating. But now it's almost, no, not almost, enticing. Drink that blood. Well, I don't know. I don't even know where I'm at right now for, I'm gonna drink that shit. Feels wrong, but right. Maybe I should have waited a little bit, hold off to it. Really anything in your life that doesn't, the hell with it. Pour a bit of the liquid in your mouth. Mmm. It's bland. It reminds you of cheap supermarket juice. Just enough to register as what it claims to be in the box. But definitely not the real thing. Nothing like what you had last time. I'll give me like some bum blood or something. You swallow it. Somehow you don't feel sick. In a weird, messed up way, you can't help but think it feels actually nourishing. A few more sips, and just another. Stuck on a bag a little more. Damn it, no! Eventually you find out you've emptied the whole gut. No! All. You looking at the info press on the side of the bag. 450 milliliters of blood I just pounded? Damn, player, you got a drinking problem. Even with its blandness, you still feel like having more. You realize your body longs for that intoxication high you felt when the image of that corpse crosses your mind, causing you to wince. What have you become? Try to piece your thoughts together. Make sense of it all. When you hear the lock click and see the door open, standing there is the well-dressed stranger you met yesterday. Emasculate suit again, that predatory look like a hawk on a hunt, but somehow more relaxed tonight. Same hawk this time. Good evening. Did you sleep well? You notice is a discarded bag. I see you had a bit of a snack. Yeah? Got any more? I did. No, and don't expect sustenance to be this easy to find next time. We've got places to be. The car is humming. Empty parking lot just outside the door. The man motions to it politely. Stern look, though. Rush the stranger. Get inside the car. Hijack the car! I mean, come on. This kind of seems a little bit, I am Bruja, so in theory I could try to beat him up. But I guarantee if I fuck up right now, this dude would just romp and stomp me. So I'm just kind of going to go along with this guy for now. Until I can really gauge this guy's power. Once I don't know what type of, you know what I mean? If he's just some weak-ass Malkavian or something, or... I kind of need to know what generation he is. You know what I'm saying? I'm trusting you here, man. I'm touched. Yo, is that Zack attack? Yo, what's going on, man? You take the back seat again. The door's locked. Strangers take the wheel. We're driving in silence again. From time to time, you keep trying to catch glimpses of familiar streets and landmarks. It's a little to no use. The car is also soundproof, so all you can hear is a bit of traffic humming in the car's engine. The driver doesn't say anything. You check the door handle. Yeah, the door handle is locked alright. A piece of dark glass separating you and the front of the car looks straight too. Nothing left to do but wait. I'm a Bruja. I could punch through that shit if I wanted to, but... You didn't have time to think about it before, but you realize now that you were hungry. No, not exactly. It's not a rumbling stomach that's grabbing my attention. It's neat. It starts somewhere in your abdomen and spreads to your chest, throat, and back of the head. Here we go again. You try to extract some information out of the man behind the wheel, but you realize you prefer to bask in the afterglow. You wouldn't have expected it, but you spend the rest of the trip lost in your thoughts. A lot of them. Concerning blood. I'm just thirsty, man. That's why I keep some extra blood with me. You never know when you get thirsty. Then you bring me back to the crime scene? What the fuck wrong with him? Another 20 minutes or so to get to your destination. As the door opens, you try to get to your bearings. You're still in New York. Queens, maybe? After me. No sudden movements, please. You approach a nice-looking building that houses a two-story gallery called The Art Hall. Two large men in suits flank the door on both sides, and they give you, your companion, a nod. Prompted by the stranger guiding you, you also follow. Say something. Slow mode is on. Oh, sorry, man. It's too fast. Normal's too fast. Slow is too slow. Like, there needs to be something in between. So when I was reading it, it would, like, cut off the first sentence. Ugh. The gallery is full, which is usual. Unusual, actually, at this hour. About 24 faces are in the room. A number of waiters are navigating, serving drinks, all beneath the guests' attention. Visitors are well dressed for the most part, but it's unclear what they have gathered here. Nobody seems to be particularly interested in the art pieces. On the walls, and the atmosphere is polite, unnaturally. They're not gonna sacrifice me, are they? Many guests turn to look at you and the stranger who brought you here. Their glances are varied. No! You see open content on a few faces and animated interest in others. Most of the eyes in the room calmly observe you, as if wishing to appraise your worth. The last time you felt like this was at your previous job interview. It was like being a piece of livestock inspected from all sides for any imperfection, so your wage could be haggled down. It was dehumanizing. It made me feel dirty. When they called you the next day to offer you the job, you declined, even when you're nobody. You become even less if you trade away your dignity for that check. The memory makes you feel warmer inside, even now, although the state of your bank account never did. Good evening, Kodai. And to you, children. The noble, cold voice takes you out of your head, back to the situation at hand. The gallery, a crowd of strangers, you, being brought against your will. What purpose? The room awaits your response. Excuse me, what? Not a child. Who are you calling a child? The Prince of New York City, Helen Panhard, chilled. It's like a childer. There's a certain way of saying it, but it means like new vampire. I think it's called child pronounced, or it could be childy, child. Is addressing you, whelp. Show damn respect. My sheriff, this harshness is unnecessary. This fledgling clearly does not grasp the point of our argot. She is somewhat plain looking and doesn't seem to possess a great deal of charm, but still the entire room is focused on her. Especially her voice. She has influence over these people. It is being clear. You may address me as Prince, child. I realize your introduction into unlife was abrupt, and I understand your sire left shortly after. Oh, that sucks, Wallace. What happened, dude? The rules of our society dictate I punish you both for this transgression. A murmur of agreement, maybe, can be heard from the gathered audience. But I am willing to listen to what our loyal sheriff has to say about the circumstances of your embrace first. Punish me for what? I don't understand. Remain silent. Our loyal sheriff has to say. I am willing to listen to what our loyal sheriff has to say of your embrace first. That means I should stay silent then. You just said it's best to stay silent and listen to the whole situation unfold. It feels like you're out of your depth here. Shall we begin? You are about to be judged by the Court of New York City, the Coteries. Please tell us how you found this fledgling and what happened on your way here. Court, Prince, is this some kind of secret society make-believe? But dear, a trusted informant who has chosen to remain anonymous at this time tipped me off about a suspicious kindred appearing in one of our domains. Upon investigating, I found gone, but this fledgling remained in that place. The hunger made him savage, a prostitute and his client in a Bronx brothel belonging to one of the ministry. I have already spoken to Sans Surik about this and made sure that it'll blow over. Regarding the fledgling himself, surprisingly enough, he offered little resistance last night and cooperated on our way to the safe house. I was pleased to not have to force his compliance. We had a quick chat, but wishing to appear here post-haste, I urged him to join me, which he did without struggle. Again, a pleasant departure from my usual routine. So, in other words, if I would have been a dickhead to him the whole time, he probably would have, threw me under the bus here. I mean, he would have answered the questions the way he had to. It's okay, Yoshi, if you gotta come back later. Do what you gotta do, man. Because you're supposed to be 13 and have a YouTube channel. Oh. Oof. His thirst partially slaked with the bagged blood we kept in the safe house. We had a pleasant enough drive here. The story ends with us arriving at the asylum tonight. Wait, the asylum? We're in New York, though. We're not at the asylum. All eyes are on you again. Yeah, I'm basically being juried or tried as a freaking vampire All eyes again on me. Take a special interest in one of the faces. It's a beautiful woman with curly, almost blood-red hair and a dress to match. You see her whispering to some bespectacled man with an absent-minded look on his face. Who is she? Thank you, Quadar. I take note of this fledgling's behavior and will take it into consideration. She's the prince. Wouldn't you think she'd be a princess? You think they almost would like have that differentiated word? By the way, for those who don't know, the prince is the person that's kind of like the mayor of the district. Or of, I don't remember, yeah, it's usually territory related. It's district. Think of the prince as like a mayor. Baron is also another word too that's used. So actually, the prince is actually more like the governor, right? Like the bigger area, and then the baron is. And then the prince is... No, actually, no, the prince is the bigger one. So, like, for instance, the prince would be, like, runs all of Minnesota, whatever, for the sake of the argument, he's a random state, right? And then the baron kind of runs smaller areas. If I'm not mistaken. If I got it backwards, I apologize. But that's to kind of give you an idea of, like, these titles that they give them. She turns her attention to you now. First, there's a matter of your sire, the person who brought you here. Quadar picked you up from last night. Who were they? Sire, doesn't matter. It was a feisty woman. I'm gonna say sire. Let me ask you this first. Why do you keep using that word sire? What does it mean? Under regular circumstances, they would be your patron and the one responsible for your introduction into our society. Things being what they are, however, I would very much like to know who they are. Please indulge me. You find it impossible to decline her final request. Something in your voice makes you want to please her, and you hear yourself speak. See, she's using some type of vampiric power to get me to tell the truth. So she's either Toreador, she also could be, there's other ones. She also can be the corporate ones. Not Tremere, Ventru. So, we'll all, I guess over time we'll find out. Obviously, she has the ability to make me just kind of just bleh, just say shit, tell the truth, blah, blah, blah. A Latina woman, very radical. Unless she convincingly lied to me, she was special, extraordinary. She had fire, conviction, temper. She seduced me, easily in fact, made me think she wanted me. I fell for it, and now I'm here. You stop yourself from saying more, then realize there's really not much more to say. A nagging thought enters your mind. How did this prince persuade you to do this? Well, Quadar, does that sound familiar? No, it doesn't, or at least not familiar enough. I will continue the search after we're done here. Can I go now? What happens now? The receptionist she spoke to may know her? There you go. That chick, she rented our room at the motel. Talked to the receptionist. He might know something about her. Yeah, I snitched on that bitch. Unlikely, but regardless, thank you for that observation. I will investigate this later. What shall I do with the fledgling, my prince? Oh, great, now they'll whack me. What is your recommendation, sheriff? See, he's the sheriff. The sheriff is basically the right-hand man that does all the hunting and... He's the sheriff. He's the cop. If you mess up, do anything wrong with the vampire, if you go around as a vampire, like, showing off your powers, biting people in public, the sheriff will come find you and they'll whack you. Depending on, or they'll take you alive in front of her or him, whoever the prince is, just for them to tell you that you screwed up and then whack you. Sheriff is self-explanatory. They're the police of the vampire squad. The traditions are clear. Thou shalt only sire another with the permission, oh great, of the elder. If thou createst another without thine elder leave, both thou and thou shall be slain. Well, that sucks. I'm dead. I am ready to fulfill my duty. Stay your hand for just a moment longer, Quadar. I wish to consult my counsel on this. Make sure everyone is in an agreement. Of course. He seems strangely relieved. The prince leaves the main showroom, and about 6 people follow her out. So they're going to decide if they want to whack me or not. You're about to ask this Quadar what all that shit and talk was all about. When the red-haired woman actually approaches you. Sophie. Sheriff, I was wondering if I could have a word with the fledgling. What for? She lowers her voice in response. Come now, Quador. We all know what the verdict is going to be. Let me speak to them. You might not have to actually stain your hands tonight. Her words grab his attention. His face is hard to read. It's like several emotions struggling for domination. Anger, sadness, hope, gratitude, but also resolve. I'll go get my sword. Oh, grief. Steps out of the room the way you came, and you are left in the showroom with the woman in the red dress. Takes you aside, and the eyes of the remaining guests follow. Well then, Fledgling, you are in quite a pickle. What do you mean? What was that about a sword? What is this circus? What do you mean? What do you mean? I still don't understand what my crime is here. Poor thing, this really isn't your fault, but if you want to get out of here in one piece, you need to understand one crucial fact that seems to have eluded your grasp. Last night you became a vampire. Wait, what? Oh yes, I am well aware of how ridiculous that sounds. The reason why we have these nicer words for it. Kindred, embraced, having a sire. But the fact remains, the beings called vampires, you're looking at them. That's all of us. You glance around. Some of the guests are still occasionally looking at you, commenting on you in hushed tones. Many of the patrons are pale, very pale, holding glasses of wine. No, that's not wine. That is not wine at all. That thickness and that red, though, you're trying to come up with something sensible to say. You are totally drawing a blank. It makes a morbid kind of sense. You did drink blood last night yourself, no denying it, and your breathing hasn't returned. Your heart also still isn't beating. A vampire? Two voices in your head start battling for supremacy. One of them slowly begins to put everything that happened since yesterday together, coming to the conclusion that no matter how insane it might seem, nothing what she's saying is making sense. The other voice just keeps saying, WTF, WTF, on repeat mode. You're surprised. This is often how it plays out by design. Quadar deliberately keeping you in the dark and all. If we do nothing, you will be cut down, as sure as day follows night. But I'm here to offer you a chance. Oh, actually, a way out. One condition, though. I will take you under my wing. If you're lucky, the prince will be in a good mood tonight, and your deference to being cut down will be legit. But only if you swear fealty to me. I gotta, my brother's calling. Yeah. Oh, you're right, isn't it? That's right, the Baron, that's right, they got different titles, right? Baron is anarchs, princes, okay. But, like, when it comes to, like, certain areas, though, for instance, that's right, a prince period is, a prince is like a district period of, yeah. Well, yeah, but for the Camarilla, for instance, Therese, she's a baron, right? Yeah, remember the asylum? Remember she owns that block, and then you go to the next area, and then the Toreador owns Hollywood. Exactly, yeah. And then the other guy is the other guy is a baron of Los Angeles. So a baron's like a baron is like a mayor or yeah. Is that, yeah? You're right. All right, cool. Right. Sorry, I got auto-corrected by my brother. He loves the Masquerade so much he had to school me real quick there. So Your difference to Quadar will work in your favor. She might agree to this, but only if you swear. I'm not making this offer lightly. As your patron, I will take responsibility for you as well. Your actions also will reflect on me. If they reflect negative, well, I will make sure you face the consequences. What happens if I agree? What if I refuse? You'll make me your servant? So let me get this straight. You'll make me your servant in exchange for my life? That's the deal? If you insist on putting it in such a pedestrian terms, yes, that is the deal. As you so eloquently put it, the alternative is, I fear, death. Steps and hushed voices can be heard from the side room. It seems the prince and her council are returning. Quadar appears from downstairs as well and starts walking towards you. When you hear the verdict, ask to be spared. I will intervene. Remember, this is my condition, though. She flashes a heart-melting smile towards Quadar, who does not smile back. Christy Laura, what's up? Welcome back. Never mind. Zach's just welcoming her. Or him, sorry, Christy. The sheriff's immaculate suit is now completed by the curved oriental look, metal scab fastened with a colorful sash. Vaguely, it looks ridiculous if it wasn't surprisingly intimidating first. Quadar takes his place next to you and observes as the prince takes center stage again. Loyal kindred of New York City Camarilla gathered here tonight. I have made my decision regarding this pledging. He briefly addresses you. I want you to know that this was not an easy decision to make. For your part, you have not done anything to earn our ire. I do feel a genuine sorrow for what must be done. Yep, she's gonna kill me. We are all keenly aware that these nights we need to close our ranks and trust the wisdom of our elders and their traditions more than ever before. There is no place for tolerating dissent when our very existence is under constant threat. Although I acknowledge some of my counsel's divergent opinions on this, see, some of them actually agreed and didn't want to get me whacked. She takes a look specifically at one of the people who left the room before, a rather plainly dressed, shy-looking man whose skin has a somewhat healthier tone. He bows his head in deference. So that guy's obviously on my team. I need to find this guy. I hold the final authority over this decision. I declare that while their embrace might be the sire's responsibility, in their absence it is progeny that they must be punished. The sentence is death. To be resolved. Presently, Quadar. You hear a scraping sound and see that the sheriff has unsheathed his blade. It is a beautiful, detailed blade which you expect must be worth a small fortune. Its apparent sharpness makes you shit your pants! 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Wow, baseball much. His quiet mumbles audible to nobody but you. As his eyes meet yours, you note just a hint of sadness in his countenance, one that quickly vanishes to give way to his determination. And he's out to bat. You will not get another chance to speak up. How do I speak up? Ask for mercy. Remain silent. Ask for mercy! You make your choice. I am not going down like this, damn it. Spare me. Prince, if I may ask you to stay the sheriff's hand for a while longer? Quadar looks at the prince, awaiting response, the sword is still hanging above you, threatening to fall in a moment's notice. Is there something you'd like to say, Miss Langley? Yes. At first, the prince looks somewhat annoyed at this distraction, but she stays quiet for a while, measuring the mood in the room. The bored elites suddenly look at you with aroused interest. Some of them are dismayed at not seeing the bloodshed, but all are intrigued by the twist. It is fire! Up, down, left, right, flex, clap, hand. Start. Is that a code, Christy Lar? Well, let's hear it. Sophie takes a few steps forward, all eyes on her, but Quadar's Heavy hand on your shoulder makes it clear you won't take advantage of the distraction. My prince, while the traditions are clear, I believe that the proper context should be observed in addition to the letter of the law. This fledgling is a burden. With proper guidance, they could become an asset to the domain. Am I to understand you are volunteering to take this sireless child under your protection? Yes. I happen to think they might hold the potential that would be unfortunate to waste. I do expect their full cooperation, of course. Whispers are heard all over. Incredulous voice or two. A hush. Just behead the fucker. Some suppressed exclamations of surprise. Silence! 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 I ask all of you to make note of this moment. I might be persuaded to bend one tradition in this child's favor, but another will have to be enforced even more firmly in its stead. Until thy progeny shall be released, thou shalt command them in all things. Their sins are thine to endure. Are you certain that's a responsibility you wish, Miss Langley? I am willing to guide this fledgling and add a valuable ally to our sect in a time of need, yes. But I would like to receive the right of destruction over them. If it pleases you. Destruction? Oh, hell no. But I would like to receive the right of destruction over them if it pleases. Give me a chance to prove myself. I'm going to remain silent. Ooh, should I actually speak up this chance to say, give me a chance to prove myself? Or should I remain silent? Destruction? Oh, hell no. Well, that's probably not the right thing to say. I think being quiet... It seems like these people, whenever people are talking, they hate just anyone having an opinion and talking. I think staying quiet is going to be my best option of survival. It's clear tensions are high. It feels surreal to listen to strangers discussing your death, or second death apparently, and keeping silent. Yes, give me a chance. Sorry, Yoshi, I didn't see anything. You decided it's for the best to let Sophie handle this alone and not interject. You have no idea how to handle this. Eyes wide shut, crowd. The prince looks at you as if weighing your worth. Takes another good measure of the room before she speaks. I shall grant what you ask. Let it be known. Sophie of the clan of Rose will become this fledgling's patron. They shall be considered sire and child. Miss Langley will take full responsibility for him, and I grant her the right of destruction if she sees fit to use it. Let my intentions be clear, however. If I am to turn a blind eye to one of our most important traditions, I expect it to be beneficial to the Camarilla, substantially so. I hope you find this verdict satisfactory, Miss Langley. Of course, Prince. Thank you. Very well. He turns to you. What is your name, child? Midge, Prince. Shouldn't I use a nickname? Oh, now you're asking my name? Yeah. Midge. Midge, Prince. She nods. Welcome to the Camarilla, Midge. Now, this evening proved to be even more eventful than I anticipated. But what the fledgling's fate decided, I believe our meeting here can be concluded. I get it. Thank you all. What are? I need a moment of your time. Of course. Vampire who has claimed to give an expansive domain as their own, generally a city, and supports that claim against all others. The term can refer to a kindred of either sex, yeah. Prince or princess. He shoots you a side glance that doesn't leave much space for interpretation. You will be watched, judged, and if need be, executed. Well, Midge, I think we both already managed to significantly improve each other's evenings. But let's keep the ball rolling, shall we? I think we should have a toast to this fruitful partnership. She raises her hand at one of the well-dressed concierges who have now reappeared in the showroom to refill the glasses. The conventionally handsome man approaches with a carafe of red liquid. He pours into 2 tall glasses. Blood. That much is clear. You're in 2 minds about drinking it, but the memory of last night's hunger makes you wince. You take a tentative sip. You expected the same blandness you tasted a few hours ago. This one you actually can savor. It's smoky and warm, making you think of a cozy cabin in the woods. It does strike you. A strange image from your mind jump to when drinking human blood. It is what it is, though. You never tasted anything like it. Do you like? I think NYC caterers have very bourgeois ideas about what good blood tastes like. Apologies, you must have so many questions. While we're on the topic, perhaps we should start with those related to sustenance. How much do I have to drink? Where do you get blood? What if I refuse to drink? How much do I have to drink? I feel this hunger constantly. How much do I have to drink to make it go away? I don't think it. Say your name. Say your name. The sad reality is it will never go away, no matter how much you drink. You will always be tempted. Unless you consume someone completely to the last drop. But you're paying for temporary relief with their life, but that is one way to loosen and lose your humanity. Best start by just taking a single sip from a vessel. Be prudent. Hot, fresh blood will be more saturating than most anything they serve in a fancy glass, but it can make you more voracious. As to how much you should have, well, it depends. If you're frugal, you can survive many nights without a single drink, but that's risky, and it'll tempt the beast that is part of our curse. Tomorrow, I shall take you hunting. We'll explore this topic further. The blood you're having tonight should be enough to keep you happy. Now, you mentioned a beast. That beast you mentioned, is that a metaphor? Oh, no, it's quite real. Although not in a strictly physical sense. It lives in our brains, our heads, our nature, and hunger manifests. Those more religious among us connected to the biblical Cain, the rage of the first murderer, cursed by God, seething in all of its descendants. I, however, am a child of the Enlightenment. Not that it makes my struggle any easier. I have to be worried like every other kindred in this city. Individual kindred each have a unique relationship to their beast. What yours is going to be remains to be seen, but you do need to keep it under control. Each outburst endangers not just you, but also the Masquerade. The Conqueror returns, asks for permission to intrude, which Sophie gives with a polite smile, and leans in to whisper in her ear. You note that the gallery is now starting to empty out. I'm being told the gallery is about to close, but we still have quite a lot to discuss. Let's go to one of my apartments. My jalopy is waiting downstairs. The smile she puts on makes you remember the way you felt with the Latina. Not arousing, though. More like magnetic. You find it hard to argue. Even though you're still suspicious of her authority over you, her charm momentarily wins. Sophie leads you to the luxurious silver Rolls Royce and invites you to sit in the back. The chauffeur, a broad-shouldered, clean-shaved, middle-aged man, starts driving. Where did we leave off? I believe I started telling you a bit more about our customs. You've heard the prince refer to our traditions, the chief among them in the Masquerade. As you might have gathered from us assembling at a niche gallery after closing time, our comings, goings, and doings tend to be somewhat secretive. We do not advertise the existence of us. We allow myths and modern fiction to morph and muddle the facts. So to the vast majority of kind, we remain bedtime stories and pop culture icons. Say, is that one television show about a vampire angel still popular? I love the TV show Angel and Buffy. That shit was awesome. You shake your head in confusion. He shrugs and continues talking, looking a bit more dejected than before. Our clandestine ways will help us remain safe, allow us to explain ways the occasional trip up to the rational minds of the 21st century humanity and dictate much of our interactions with mortals. What's the risk? Is your driver a vampire too? So what's the flip side? So, like, where are the perks here? You're a vampire, but you need to keep quiet about it? Like, what's the point? There has to be a flip side, right? Don't get me wrong, we have power, immense power, influence over mortals. Immortality has its benefits too, of course. We have many enemies, and some know our weaknesses all too well. For one, sunlight burns the hell out of us. That's why we rest during the day. Felt it. More like being dead than being dormant, isn't it? But we have no choice. We are night dwellers and sleep during the day. But some folk-related threats are just legends, or occasionally a minor nuisance. Garlic, running water, even religious symbols don't work on us, unless the wielder is uniquely pure and godly. Stakes to the heart, though, that's something you want to avoid. They won't destroy us, but they will put us in torpor, or known as paralyzed, which, under the right circumstances, fuck our couch. That's a reason to have somebody like my trusted driver, Gregory, make sure you're safe when you drift away. We have many enemies, and they often know their advantage lies with daylight. He's probably a ghoul then. Masquerade sounds like bullshit. Do vampires watch it? So it's good to keep human friends? Am I right in thinking that having a human friend or two is necessary then, or at least useful? Gregory's gotta be a ghoul. In moderation and best. They don't know your true nature. Also, I would say that subordinates are useful, but friends, I haven't had one of those for many, many years now. Our little sect supplies social interactions aplenty, but it doesn't really encourage friendships. Alliances of convenience to be broken at a whim, yes. That's more like it. Long-term solidarity does occur in a Camarilla, but we are a very politicized organization by necessity. Loyalty is to your sire, to your prince, and to the sect. Friends must remain a distant priority at best for us to maintain the masquerade and thrive as years pass. With age comes authority, with that comes influence and power, if you wish to reach for them. Seems to be lost in thought, falls silent for a while, leaving you to ponder all the things that you've just been learning. Still feels absolutely unreal, but as piece after piece of knowledge falls into place, the image becomes almost like an entirely logical jigsaw puzzle. Whatever you wouldn't believe on your own, you've actually witnessed. Many questions are swarming your thoughts, but the one you keep returning to is what your place in this new reality will be. The car stops. You are in the city, in front of an old but well-renovated apartment building. We're here. Would you like to see your lodgings? My own apartment? Neat. Is it another parking lot room? How long do you expect me to stay here? I'm gonna say my own apartment. I get my own apartment? That's neat. Consider it the first of many gifts that I'm able to grant in exchange for loyalty. Follow me. He leads you through a small hall. The night guard who greets her with a good evening. Okay, let's go into the second store. Room 209. Inside, not that bad. Inside are all the amenities you expect from a modern apartment. Some of you wouldn't have deemed necessary just the previous night. Putting thick blinds on the windows. Yeah, gotta block that sun out, you know. Can't get my butt burnt, you know what I'm saying? The back room has a comfortable looking bed and a thick steel door with several sturdy looking locks. But no windows. Damn right. Well, how do you like it? This is great, thank you. What? Can I choose another? It feels too nice. This is great, thank you. I'm glad. Make yourself at home. Tomorrow, I will take you hunting and discuss the blood in more detail. I'll let you get comfortable. The keys are by the television set. I will come pick you up tomorrow night. Use the back room for sleep. You can lock the doors in case. It stings a bit when she leaves. It's like the room suddenly became dimmer. You inspected the kitchen hoping to find something to drink. Nothing. No regular food. Nada. It feels strange that Kodar could be a more thoughtful host than your new sire, even if only in that respect. You briefly wonder if the sheriff might even have had a hidden side. With nothing left to do, you lie on the couch, with the TV playing in the background. Columbo reruns. Kojak returns. President of the United States got himself into serious trouble again. Great. Trump be throwing it down. Is my it almost looks like, oh no, actually no, it's right. No, it's the light up there. I'm sorry. I was looking at that. I thought that was like my green screen all jacked up. President of the United States got himself out of trouble again. Pundits start yelling over each other about things that seemed a little bit less insignificant just 2 days ago. You start drifting out, reflecting about another night of confusing conversations and worldview-shattering revelations. How many before you finally understand what's happening to you and what you're supposed to do going forward? You keep coming back to life that you left behind. The people you should contact. Things you want to pick up from your apartment. You wonder when you'll even have the chance for that. As you start to feel the same tiredness that made you drift into a cold sleep last night. Yeah, I would assume my ex-girlfriend's gonna get freaking whacked. You settle in the back room. The bed is comforting. The lack of windows, less so. You leave the light bulb on, staring at it. You realize it's the closest you'll ever come to staring at the sun ever again. A wave of melancholy starts to overwhelm you. Jesus Christ. A few minutes later, your consciousness fades and you take the plunge into darkness again. Thinking. Alright, so we got a few more words here. Obviously, you can tell the hunger, urge to feed vessel, a source of blood. So a vessel is any human that you feed off of. You can keep them as a caged pet or something disgusting. Beast, as it turns us. Cain is the first vampire. Kindred is the new word that we use according to this term came. It's the politically correct word of a vampire. Masquerade is the following the code of the vampire, the traditions. Oof. That's a lot right there to read. We're gonna skip that. Kine. Term for mortals. Largely contemptuous. The phrase kindred and kine refers to the world at large. So kine is humans, I guess. But yeah, I guess that a vessel would be somebody, for instance, if you just kept them captive, all you do is just feed off of them every day, right, for blood reasons. Sect, a group of vampires arguably united under a common philosophy. The two most widely known sects currently populating the night are the Camarilla and the Anarch movement. Okay, so the sect is kind of almost like the Republican liberals, in a sense, you know. There's two left and a right wing, but they call it the sect. I don't know what we call it in our tradition. We just call it the different parties or whatever. So that kind of gives you an idea. Obviously, sire is the person that's bit you. Whoever bites you is your sire. Okay. So yeah, now I'm just kind of scroll this around, or I like how there's this blood flowing around. I just go to bed, or I guess I just go to. I like how the moon and everything's spinning here. I think this is kind of the part where I just go to bed. Hunger lies at the heart of the vampire's existence. To ignore it is to tempt the beast to take over your actions and its desire to feed. To overindulge in feeding may threaten the masquerade as well as staining what humanity you have left. In the Coteries in New York, having high hunger is indicated by a progressively bigger, bloodier flame around the screen, like the one you see now. So this blood right here is actually showing that I'm hungry. As your hunger grows, so does indicator. Your hunger may increase when you call upon your powers, or when you need to mend your wounds. When your hunger reaches the maximum amount, you will receive a warning after you complete a piece of the story. Ignore it at your own peril. Some choices might only become visible if your hunger is high enough. Similarly, A high hunger may block off some choices as you'll be able to see after pressing continue. Hunger is high enough. Simply a high hunger may block off. Does anybody want to hit it? Is this like a trick question? This game's trying to trick me, damn it! Trying to get me killed! Oh, not tonight. No. I'm only gonna play this for a little bit, then I'm gonna go jump on some Overwatch. See, games like this, like, I'm not gonna say it puts me to sleep, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need something way more in her, you know. Oh, I see. Never mind. I can't even click it anyways. To decrease hunger, you will need to feed. Whenever you see a feeding opportunity, you can take the risk to hunt and eat. You will need to keep the hunger at bay if you are to uphold the Masquerade and survive. Uh-oh. Oh, it looks bright in there-ish. You open your eyes. The bed isn't warm. The room is filled with artificial light from the ceiling. The solid metal door is actually closed. Normally, you'd stretch for a bit on some mornings. You'd probably even throw the quilt over yourself and snooze longer. But that was before. The way you wake up now, you are fully conscious. No groggy, nothing weighing you down. Just a nagging need in the back of your head. Blood. Not as severe as last time, but it's there. You get up, open the door to the main room. A digital clock on the TV shows you the time. It's 9 p.m. You walk over to the blinds to retract them cautiously. The only lights coming in is NYC's artificial nighttime. That's what your waking hours are going to look like now. You missed the sun already. Seriously consider just walking out of the apartment and figuring this all out on your own. Then you come back to your senses and the memory of Quadar's exotic sword. Maybe sticking around isn't that bad of an idea after all. You keep jumping channels for around half an hour and then switch to the streaming services almost as if the universe had a sense of irony. You catch True Blood and the flood of recommendations. Yes, I'm gonna binge watch True. Oh god, doorbell ring. Why you gotta be cutting into my goddamn True Blood, Sophie? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Trying. Good evening, Dirty Nidge. Did you sleep well? Like a baby, like a dead man. That's not exactly see it, right? Like a dead man. Curious wording, but not that far from the truth. I suppose. No use dwelling on it. I think you'll agree with no time. You made the right choice, though, yesterday. I can teach you many things about yourself, your blood, its desires, and its power. We will begin tonight. You are hungry, yes? I'm sure you are. Our kind always is. There's only one remedy: blood. The drinks we had yesterday at the asylum are not the usual way to slake. So, tonight, I will assist you in your first foray into hunting. You need to learn to sense the kind of blood that you desire. Understand how you can use the kind's vulnerabilities to your advantage. So the kind to be the humans, which is... I'm ready to learn. No more freebies, huh? Predator and prey, huh? Grim. Well, I'm ready to learn. Get started. Such eagerness. Or is it just your hunger? You will find that drinking moderate amounts of it regularly keep the hunger and whispers of the beast away. You might think yourself monstrous. There is a balance. The kiss gives the kind pleasure. You might remember this from your own embrace. Some can even become addicted to the sensation, but if you do it right, you tend to misremember your feeding. The kiss. I need to look that word up. An act of drinking blood, usually from a mortal. The kiss causes feelings of ecstasy in those who receive it. Ah, I get it. So in other words, if someone gets off to getting their blood drinked, some people apparently get off to that shit or something. I don't know. Yeah. And embracing, obviously, when you turn someone into a vampire. And then you drain the person, and then you replace them with a bit of your okay. After all, vampires do not exist. They are myths, fairy tales, pop cultures, Angel TV show, True Blood, correct? She gives you a sly, no smile. That is why the masquerade is so important, and even more crucial when you feed. How do you avoid being seen? How do you cover your tracks? How do you select the victim? How do you cover your tracks? Biting people leaves marks, right? And the victims remember your face. You shouldn't concern yourself with leaving marks. These are easy to conceal. You just need to bite carefully and then lick the punctures and they close. That's all there is to it. As for being remembered, like I mentioned, the kiss is an ecstatic experience. So humans can barely recall the details. And even when they do, the city is enormous. You could spend days on the streets and not see the same face twice. Use that to your advantage. Feeding from the same area repeatedly, though, will be dangerous. But by branching out, you risk the ire of other kindred and whose domains you trespass. Lucky for you, New York City is more forgiving, though, in this regard. New York is in somewhat of a unique position. Many of its neighborhoods remain contested or unclaimed. The reason for this is a lesson for another time, but just keep it in mind. Take opportunities to feed when they present themselves these upcoming nights. As long as you hunt cautiously, respect the masquerade at all times, you'll be fine. Squishy T says hello. Hey, what's going on? To wit, I want you to join me for a trip tonight. Come downstairs. Gregory is waiting for us. Yeah, after I go on my first hunting tonight, I'm probably gonna kill this and we're gonna play some Overwatch. Hope you guys don't mind. I'm gonna switch this back and forth. I'm gonna get back to what's that game called I played? Oh shoot, the busy street of da 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 da. Can I scroll up? Okay, cool. Oh, actually I can. Ha ha ha. I'm gonna play some Mutant Ground Zero again, or Mutant Year Zero. You know, I'm gonna try and switch this up. You know, do a little bit of. I've been really busy this last month. Like I said, I busted my legs. You guys know that, and lots of family's been happening right now. So that's why, like, it's holiday time, and I'm always like, I just suck. Or I'm just too busy during this time. I'll get back on my normal schedule, y'all. I'll be streaming twice a day. You know, about an hour or two earlier, and then a few hours at night. You know. Busy street fills the air with traffic noise, pedestrian chatter, and the mix of smell that disorientates you momentarily. These warm bodies contain what you want, what you need. Yes, I'm gonna bite someone's butt. I'm like, argh. You catch yourself. Did you really just think of these people as just blood? Damn right I did. I'm thirsty. Give me a drink. Takes a nudge from Sophie to break your train of thought. Her driver opens the door for her and tips his hat to you, gesturing to the back of the car. Oh, he don't open the door for me? I see how it is. The car usually joins the somewhat thin New York traffic. It's still busy in a way only one of the biggest cities in the world can be, but compare the daytime commute, way smoother. You barely have time to gather your thoughts, formulate new questions before the car comes to a complete You're among the tall skyscrapers that made up Manhattan's iconic skyline. Come, Nidge, park the car, Gregory. Driver nods. Sophie gets out, and you join her. You walk through the glass doors together, then take the elevator up. You first notice an empty stage with the instruments of a string quartet still in the back, then taking a few dozen chairs in front of it. That's the small penis man statue. The concert seemingly concluded. The patrons, all smartly dressed and posh, have spread out all over the hall. Sophie strides confidently inside, produces an invitation from her purse that she flashes in front of the security guard. You follow close and all are let through without issue. Let's start easy. A social setting like this one would usually prove quite challenging to an inexperienced kindred, but consider this evening a small gift. I'm hoping to procure for you a willing vessel. Just remember what I told you about taking small sips. This one I have a soft spot for. Please don't kill her. Now, let's see here. Ah, there he is. She notices somebody in the crowd, flashes a heart-melting smile, and suddenly even you feel drawn to her. You haven't thought about it before, but it's laid clear before you. Sophie is beautiful. Just looking at her is a privilege. Just being with her makes you feel elated. I think she's a Toreador. That's the only thing I can come to a conclusion. She seems to always like seduce naturally, like when you're around her. Yeah, she also could be a Ventrue though too. They kind of have that awe thing where they inspire you, but they keep bringing up kind of like beauty and stuff. Everybody in the crowd, but especially the man who's almost tripping over himself to reach her, clearly agrees. Yeah, that's more Toreador. Edgar, so happy to see you. How is your daughter? Is she with you? There she is. Julie, my girl, come over, please. There's somebody I'd like you to meet. The young woman who walks across the hall can't be more than 19 years old. It's clear from her mismatched earrings and the partially faded purple hair dye she's not fitting in. Julie, this is Nidge. I think the two of you should get acquainted while I talk business with your dad. Awfully boring stuff, I assure you. I'm positive you will like each other. The girl gives you a shy smile and nods towards the balcony stairs. You follow. See, I'm not a Toreador, so see, I don't have that ability to, like, seduce her as easy. So a Toreador in this game would be a lot easier. So I can just seduce anybody, be like, hey, baby, how you like me now? You know what I mean? Just boom, bite them. A Bruja, I'd be like...
Somebody's gonna get raked.
It'd be like that, you know what I mean? Like, it would just be bad. Girl gives you a shy smile. Okay, cool. You reach a secluded space from which the entire lobby is visible. All eyes are on Sophie. They listen intently, then laugh when she does. Julie saves you the trouble of figuring out the next step. Oh, it sounds like she's down with getting bit. If you're a Sophie, then I guess you're, I mean that you know. Okay, so she's aware of it, but she likes it. That's what what was those people called again? They love being bit. She puts her wrists to her lips and gives herself a theatrical nip and looks at you, embarrassed, but also hopeful. Yeah, I do. I don't know what you're talking about. What, you're into that sort of thing? You're into that sort of thing? She blushes, looks down at the floor, nods. Could you? I mean, if you'd like, Miss Langley tells me I... She swallows hard, avoids your eyes. Tells me that I taste very nice. You take her forearm from your hands. A quick look around confirms nobody's watching. No security cameras are also looking. You're biting gently. It's surreal. She's just giving you her blood of her own volition. How is this possible? Like, what about the Masquerade? Yeah, so your thoughts disappear amid the bliss. There's just a taste, sweet, fresh, sanguine. And you drink, and you drink, and you... Oh, I need to stop. No, stop, stop, stop. Oh god, how do I stop? You tear away from the girl harder than you wanted still. The bite leaves just tiny punctures. Lick that shit! You gotta lick it closed, almost by instinct. You lick them clean. Yeah, there you go, and the tools become concealed. Julia's now leaning on the wall, pale, wobbly on her feet, but happy? She lets out a dreamy sigh, opens her eyes. A few tears fall into her shirt. Tears of joy, though. Thank you. Please, can you walk me downstairs? Please, my dad. He doesn't know. He thinks it's a condition. Miss Langley told him so. That's fucking weird how this girl's, like, keeping a secret from, like, her own dad about, like, getting bit and everything. It's almost like... I think it's almost like she wishes one day she can get turned. And she's being used, you know? It's kind of like how I would see it, personally. Sophie is a Toreador. So she plays with blood magic? Toreador. No, you ain't gotta ruin it for me, though, Yoshi. Hey, Dean, what's going on? Sorry, I missed your message there a few minutes ago there. Well, a lot of minutes ago, I apologize. She leans on your request. You walk her over to the bench. She takes a seat, smiles. The crowd around Sophie disperses slowly. Looking at her now, she only some residual awe hangs in the air. Yes, she's pretty, maybe even beautiful, sure, but not your type. What came over you before? You walk over to her. What, a Toreador? Oh, yeah. Yes, she is a Toreador. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant Tremere when you said that. Yeah. Exactly, she would be a Torador. Toradors are spelled different, but or maybe they're. I don't think they're spelled that way. It's almost like you're like spelling Torberg from like Overwatch or something. But it's cool, man. Edgar, dear, splendid talking to you, but we need to get going. Give Julie my best wishes. Come, Nidge. Gregory is waiting for you out front. It's only in the car that Sophie addresses you. I can tell from your look that you took the opportunity. Good. That girl's exquisite, don't you think? You wouldn't tell by her demeanor, but she has so much passion. Brings out a unique bouquet in her blood. Her blood is delicious. She knows who we are. I feel like I took advantage of her. She was something else, to be sure. Delicious. I could barely stop myself from drinking more. I'm glad you did. She is one of my favorites. Consider tonight special in this regard. I do not share her with anybody. Not just anybody. Time for the next stop. Training wheels off. This time, Gregory, Flushing Meadows, please. Driver takes the car over the Williamsburg Bridge. You settle your thoughts. What did you do to the people back there? What's this training wheels about? Why Flushing Meadows? What did you do to the people back there? Those people back at the hall, they were all entranced. Even I was under your spell. What was that? She smiles with satisfaction. That old trick, huh? Just the blood doing my bidding. We all have our talents. Some of them come from the legacy we inherit from our sire. Others can be learned with experience. I can sway people or make them fear me. I see more of the world and in greater detail than some kindred. I can will my body to move with unparalleled precision and grace, and more. Yep, so she's got that seduction, she's got intimidation, and she can move really damn fast. All of these skills make me who I am. They also help me hunt. So what are my powers? Okay, so what's mine? Time will tell. You need to discover them yourself. When we arrive, experiment. Give different things a try. Follow your instincts, intuition. It will guide the blood. Always keep the masquerade in mind, though. It is all fine if you can disappear in plain sight or command animals with your mind, but save those over talents for the right place and time. It only takes you half an hour to reach your destination. Both you and Sophie leave the car, with Gregory left behind. Find a parking spot and keep an eye on it. Sophie seems deep in thought. She takes in the surroundings with a dreaming gaze. The sky is surprisingly clear tonight. The stars just barely visible in the light polluted aura of the city. I'm almost thinking right here. I'm almost wondering here if I should cut it right here. Ugh. So we can play it. Do you guys want to see some Overwatch right now? What are you guys thinking? Or, you know what I mean? I don't want to like bore. If you guys are enjoying this, like I'll keep going. I just didn't know, like how you guys are feeling, Like to me, it's like I like the game, but it's almost like it's like reading a book. You know what I mean? It's like an action grovel, novel. God, I'm so awesome with words. I feel like having a snack myself. I'll be in the fountain. Go look for somebody. See what effects you can achieve with your blood, but only pick one, just one. Seeing how she seems not all together right now, you decide to leave Sophie to her own devices and seek out prey. From here, it looks like you have a few choices. Just taking a stroll around the park, finding an isolated jogger or someone like them could work, but focusing on one area would probably work better. The New York State Pavilion might work as a secluded spot. There's a skate park nearby. In worst case scenario, there's bound to be some unfortunate wino around. Yes, I can get drunk if I bite the wino. Or maybe the tennis court's nearby. There's light coming from there, so somebody might still be playing tennis. They won't be alone, but they might be tired and let their guard down. Hell no. I'm going for the jogger. It's always the jogger. And they got good blood. They exercise. As these scenarios play out in your mind, you realize you're planning how to assault a stranger in the middle of the night. It's a weird way to be, but the familiar hunger has prompted me to act. Search for a victim around the park. Hunt near the decrepit pavilion. Look for prey at tennis court. Take a walk, but don't feed. Where's the... I don't want to go to the tennis court. It's too lit up. I don't know what the crypt pavilion means. I'm going for around the park. You start walking. The park's many avenues must hold a good spot or two for a predator like yourself. You pass 2 soccer fields and circle around where the fountain of the planet's once awed visitors with the spectacle before coming across an opportunity. A woman, a small duffel bag on her arm, is making her way through the park in a hurry. She doesn't seem to have noticed you. Lie in wait, nor our presence. Focus her attention. Think back to what Sophie did in the. I can't do that. How she managed to focus. Oh my gosh, she's gonna scream. Tall order for. There might be a tall order for you, but a single person could be doable. For a moment, you're thinking how an old guy in a hood should appear over your shoulder saying, "Use the force and age." It feels ridiculous. But then something stirs within you. There's a confidence there, and whoever that you might have had before, but one that's increased manifold. I'm gonna get my ass cold. You catch the woman's eye. She flashes an unsure smile, almost in spite of herself, as she passes you by. Hey, stop. Please, wait. Oh, God, this is way. Hey. Hey, you. She's tense, gripping her bag close but intensive. Her eyes lock into yours. The slight smile, sort of there. Yes? What is it? Almost intuitively, you close the distance between you. You can't look away. She's unprepared for what follows. In a swift move, you grab her and bite her ass. Her surprise resonates in her blood, hot. That flash flowing, she tenses up, then relaxes. The duffel bag hits the ground. Bliss. There's footsteps. You let go of her. She drops to the ground, barely conscious. A hooded man is looking menacingly at you. What do you think you're doing, barging in on my turf like this? Lick a heart. Brrr! Oh no! The drunken vampire, man! Lick, what kind of stuff? Didn't mean to trespass. I'm gone. Piss off or else. I didn't mean to trespass. Sorry. I'm gone. Too late for that, friend. You want to leave here in one piece? You talk. Candidly. I know what you are, so you can shove that masquerade misdirection up your ass. Now better tell me who you're with before my posse shows up and we beat the shit out of you. I'm here with Sophie. She's my patron. Doesn't ring a bell. Sounds fancy though. He licks his lips, exposing his fangs and looking at you ferociously. A nervous tick or an attempt at trying to intimidate me. I wonder, what would Callahan do to you if I brought you in, huh? Break your shins, leave you out to be kissed by the sun? Oh, concrete shoes maybe. He's old school like that. Use celerity and get the hell out of them. You take off fast, faster than you've ever run. The hoodlum has trouble keeping up but howls behind you like an animal. As you reach through the hemisphere again, you slow down, noticing 2 people near the sculpture, a man and a woman tangled in a passionate embrace. Oh, she's biting? No, not exactly. It's Sophie. She's feeding, but this whole scene is set up so that it looks like a couple are getting intimate in public. She pulls it off like she's done it 100 times before. It occurs to you that she probably has. The man is unsure on his feet as she lets go of him and leads him toward the nearby bench. Noticing you, she whispers something into his ear and leaves him. Her driver appears. Well, Nitch, how did it go? You're about to answer when the same figure as before comes from one of the alleys. He looks at the 3 of you, and a predatory smile creeps. You thought you could run away, huh, Lick? Think you'll be safe with your friends? Well, I have friends too. He makes a motion to shout, but 2 things happen almost at the same time. First, that feeling of warmth and beauty emanating from Sophie flares up again, entrancing both you and the hooded thug. His shout comes out as a weak, confused squeak. Second, Gregory produces a wooden stake from the holster under his jacket, slams it into the dude's heart. Just like that, in a few seconds, the posturing vampire is down to the ground and fucking torpid. I see you've made a friend, Nitch. Curious choice of company. I would say, who is he? He knew I was a vampire. He said this was his turf. You mentioned Callahan? He said something about presenting me to somebody named Callahan. Ever heard of him? She looks shocked for a split second, then recovers her countenance. Yes, I have. This hoodlum is Anarch then. Yep, I thought so. Curious. Corona Park has not been claimed by any kindred last time I checked. Let's go to the car. We'll put him in the trunk and present him to Quadar tomorrow night. I'm sure he'll be delighted to make this unbound acquaintance. Gregory carries the staked vampire and dumps his ass into the trunk like a mannequin. Strange sight. And you're quite happy you're not in that poor fucker's shoes right now. Sorry, I could take off running. That's what says celerity right there. You could just book like Superman. Woohoo! It's almost surprising that you can get away with just casually throwing a stiff into your car, you know, and driving away. But then you remember that Sophie has been doing this shit way longer than you have. Still, the nagging thought that anything you did tonight could have been recorded on a camera or even picked up by a rando with a half-decent smartphone and streamed online, you know, makes you nervous. Hunting and using your abilities is a dangerous business. It's clear that this whole being a vampire thing has about as many caveats as it perks. That's true. They could have caught me fucking running through the park like that. You're taken out of your headspace by her voice. I will pick you up tomorrow night again, same as tonight. I have some business to attend to at the asylum. You need to accompany me. Plus, our friend in the back needs to be properly introduced to Kadar and the Prince. I'm sure he'll have some interesting things to say and report. Her voice is cold, cruel, and nothing like the personality she showed to me earlier. Sophie is clearly a woman of many faces. Good riddance, that guy's an asshole. Oh yeah, I can imagine he's going to enjoy meeting Quadar. I hope he gives him a good grilling. The guy's an asshole. Oh, Quadar will enjoy it too, I'm sure. She pauses, seemingly lost in thought for a while. You haven't told me how your hunting went, getting the hang of it, I would hope. I'll need time to get used to this. It doesn't come naturally. It will, with time. You need to think about it less, though. Hunting is the one scenario in which you'll do well to trust your instincts. In moderation, though, of course. Seems distracted. Not all there. Thoughts drift and the car remains silent until you reach your APT. Pick you up tomorrow evening. Night-night. Just like that, without any further courtesy, she leaves. Cruises to her apartment by Gregory with a body in the trunk. You crossed paths with situations like these in the past, unknowingly? What other secrets did you pass on the streets without knowing their true nature? Your haven is just as you left it hours ago. Although the sun won't come up for some time, you feel tired. You learned something about yourself today, and it'll take time to process it. You're not in the mood, though, for television this time. And a few books on the shelves in the apartment are either in languages you don't speak or appear boring. Nothing left to do but rest. You settle in the back room. Lock the door. More the hesitation. Then a decision. This time, turn the light off. Think back to Julie. How many people in the city know about the vampiric society? How many are willing accomplices are explaining it? And the thug you met in the park. He's not Camarilla. What the hell was he? Are there independent vampires? Like, how does this shit work? More questions. You begin wondering if there's ever going to be a night when you can start crossing them off the list instead of adding to it. You close your eyes. Alright. Alright, everybody. Thank you guys for that. Give it, like I said, if you guys want to join me for Overwatch, we'll do that. The live stream does need a good, 10-15 minutes. It's just how it works. That also gives me time to quick just get up, stretch my legs. I'll play maybe for like an hour or two, and then after that, I'm gonna watch some anime and pass out. Anyways, y'all, see you guys soon. Thank you for joining for this.